Welcome back, everyone. It is Tuesday, January 28th in the NBA. 3 plays on the way. If you are new, my name is Austin from Calling a Shot. As always, we begin with a recap of yesterday. Man, we just have not been good enough so far. Most of January has been up and down all the way. It was a 3-3 day yesterday. We did cash day one of the ladder challenge. We'll talk about day two later on today. Giannis, 30-plus points. We cashed that. We had 2 added plays after the video. They both split. Jordan Poole under and Zach Edey under. We'll talk about Edey in a second. Morant was a big swing and a miss. He absolutely sucked yesterday. And then Trey Murphy was a swing and a miss as well. He did not do anything. I think he started 1 for 9. The only loser that I'm really mad about is Zach Edey. I kind of predicted his minutes would go down. He didn't even play 20 minutes. He got benched at halftime. But the problem was the Grizzlies were trailing by like 25 points. They're like, fine, we'll throw him in there. And it was against the Knicks' second unit. So he absolutely feasted on him. But 3-3 day, we only got 3 picks today. Hopefully we can have a 2-in-1 day, turn on that momentum that we had all of December when we had like 14 winning days and 16 days. We were certainly capable of a hot streak. But man, January has been tough. We got an over and under, and then we'll talk about the ladder. So technically really only 2 plays today. But let's dive in. It's a short slate, 4 games, 8 teams on. 5 of the 8 teams are on back-to-backs. It's going to be tough, but let's dive into the first pick. It's going to be a team on a back-to-back. Austin Reeves, great first name. Love is over, 24.5 points plus assists, -120 on DraftKings. Now, him and the Lakers played the Hornets yesterday. They're now on the road taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. I believe this is a TNT televised game. Now, I want to note, as I record this at 8:46 a.m., there is a non-zero chance as the day goes on, LeBron James gets ruled out or Anthony Davis gets ruled out. I wouldn't put that out of the conversation because they're on a back-to-back. This is their last back-to-back before the All-Star break, which is in about 2 or so weeks. Wouldn't shock anyone if they're like, you know what, we're just going to rest LeBron. All these guys are on the injury report every single day. So, again, if that happens, I have no idea where Reeves Lions goes, but I like taking it early just in the off chance that does happen. But let's talk more so about this matchup. Now, obviously, Reeves on the season, you'll see over in, 14 of 30 games. Not the best, but I really want to eliminate all those games where we saw D'Angelo Russell playing. So, really, you saw since December 25th, technically, D'Lo played, I believe, in 1 or 2 of these games. But, again, since D'Lo basically got traded, he's been over 9 of 15 games. Now you could say, Austin, what the heck's he doing here? He's under in 4 of his last 5. Well, this was a game against the Clippers. They lost by 14. They got blown out in that one. Only 6 shots for him. Clippers are a really good defensive team. We know that. Then we went against the Wizards. He shot 4 of 15. They won by 23, so pretty big blowout there. Again, he misses on the hook. Went over against the Celtics. Then a game against the Warriors, pretty good defensive team. Again, 7 assists on 18 potential, a big LeBron game and a big AD game here. And then yesterday was the huge AD game, also shoots 5 of 14. I guess we finally just got his potential assists, so 10 potential assists. So, I mean, even in these last, 4 games, 13, 14, 18, and 10 potential assists. Now, today's matchup against the Sixers is an all right one. If they believe they played earlier this season, he had 27. This was a game D'Angelo Russell did play in. 7 assists, though, 15 potential, 20 points. So he played pretty well there. I just think this line's a little bit too low. Like I said, in these last, 15 games, he's been shooting the ball pretty aggressively. This is a matchup in the Sixers 21st in assists allowed. They do play pretty slow. And when you play pretty slow, sometimes it can affect guys that score in transition. However, like I said, the ways he scores, not in transition. It says the pick and roll ball handler, Sixers about league average, spot up shooting, whatever. They're 8th. 14th in free throws and 23rd in transition. So I guess if he wants to score in transition, he certainly can. But again, I just think this is the game the Sixers slow it down, given they have so many injuries. And we're going to see them slow this game down. When you slow it down, you're going to see a half-court type of offense. And the half-court offense for the Lakers is Austin Reeves and LeBron James dictating it. Also, given how many injuries the Sixers have, I mean, I can't even list them on one hand. You got Paul George, Joel Embiid, Andre Drummond, KJ Martin, Caleb Martin, and probably half the other rest of the team. So again, they got so many injuries in there. They don't have the size to even match up with Anthony Davis. So in my opinion, when you see AD come up to set a screen for Austin Reeves, you're going to see this, probably the guy who's ever guarding AD, maybe Gershon Yabusele, probably let Reeves drive to the hoop if he wants to and try to stay tight on AD. Because if AD gets the ball in the paint, GG. he's going to score. So again, I think this is a spot where Reeves could score 20 or more points, but I also think he could get 10 double-digit assists. I love the points and assists. You can take PRAs. I just aren't counting on him to get rebounds. I'd rather do the points and assists, the two categories I think he has the best matchup in. So I'll take that. First play of the day, Austin Reeves over in points plus assists. I'll talk about the other games that I didn't touch on in a second. My second play is going to be an under, and is a guy that his line could also change that day for the good or for the bad. Let's talk about Betr. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Under 4.5 assists, my second play of the day, minus 117 on Caesars. Now, the Hawks are a disaster. Yesterday, they went up to Minnesota. They rested some guys. Naturally, they lost the game. They actually were competed in that one in the third quarter, kind of the fourth quarter. They sucked in that one. But again, they were playing a lot of guys that aren't used to playing 30, 35 minutes, playing those guys a lot of minutes, and obviously they struggled. I'm going to fade Betr here, though. If you don't know who he is, like I said, he is a Hawks wing, if you will. I just don't think this is a good matchup for him. Now, obviously, he's kind of turned into somewhat of their point guard, shooting guard type thing when Trae Young is out. But based on all the stats and stuff that I'm looking at, Trae Young, I think, is returning today. He has props. He rested yesterday. My anticipation is that they were like, we'll rest you on the road. We'll play you at home. Obviously, it's your home crowd. You want to keep those guys happy. So I think he plays today. And if he does, I think this line's way too high. Now, obviously, you can look at the hit rates and be like, oh, he's under in 23 or 30. I'm not going to count games he's barely playing in. But if you look at the games where, let's be honest, I anticipate him to play 25 or more minutes. If he doesn't play 25 minutes, I'll take it. But again, you look at the games, he played 25 minutes, sure, he's over in 6 of 11. But there have been some good matchups in here. The Bulls, he had 6 assists on 15 potential. This was a game without Trae Young. You have here 6 assists on 7 potential. I mean, sure, you converted crazy. 6 assists on 4 potential assists. Congrats. And then the last 2 games, he had 7 assists here, 10 potential assists versus Toronto, a team that loves to trap Trae Young. They were trapping him. The ball's getting dished to Betr, and he was just kind of creating for the offense. And then last night, 6 assists, had 14 potential. So again, he got it done last night, 14 potential assists. But again, there was no Trae Young in that lineup. I expect Trae to be active today. And even if he isn't, it's a bad matchup. Look at the Rockets. Second fewest assists per game allowed. 4th in defensive rating, 2nd 3-pointers. And when we think about how Betr scores points, you look, he's a spot-up shooter. 2nd worst matchup for spot-up shooters. However, for the guys like Trae Young with the ball in their hand, 29th defensively versus the pick-and-roll ball handler. So again, this is a better matchup, in my opinion, for Trae to score. If he does not play, we might be in a tough spot. This line probably does go up and creep up to maybe 5.5. But again, I'm not too concerned. If it goes up to 5.5, I'd still take it there. If Trae Young is inactive, sure, he might get some potential assists. But again, based on this spread, I mean, we're looking at spread-wise. Clicked NFL. I mean, based on the spread for this game, we're looking at a spread at 7. To me, this makes me think Trae Young's playing. If Trae Young is inactive, I think you're seeing probably closer to 9.5 point, 10-point spread. I think it's a good spot to fade Betr. Sure, he's gone over in 2 straight. And sure, he had 14 potential assists last night. If Trae plays, we're not going to see him get more than probably 7 or 8. So I like taking a chance here on Betr under an assist. Could we get cooked? Yeah, but that's the NBA injury report. You're trying to predict what's going to go down. Good luck. It's impossible. I think Trae Young plays tonight. If he doesn't, we might be in a tough spot, but again, I'll take my chances with that. I think he suits up. He's got props. All the props for his teammates are all in it, reflecting him playing. So I'll take a shot here that he plays tonight, and I'll take Betr under an assist. I wouldn't play it at 3.5, obviously. Probably at about minus 140, and that's probably about it. Now, third play. No surprise, it's going to be day 2 of the ladder challenge. And with a lot of teams on back-to-backs, we might have to fire up the under train. Now, yesterday we took 2 unders and 2 overs. The overs, sweaty. We had Jalen Brunson. He didn't deserve to get 20, but he came through. Kristaps was a sweat-free winner. He respects the ladder, knock on wood. Our unders, Jalen Duren, he became prime Shaq in the whole game. He had 15 rebounds, but he went under by 2. We'll certainly take that. Colin Sexton was an easy under. We'll see what we cook up for the ladder challenge. As always, I'll post it down below. I'm going to wait, obviously, with 5 teams on back-to-backs, and every single one of the games today, there are teams on back-to-backs. I'm going to wait until the injury report drops. When the injury report comes out, I'll try to do the ladder. Now, I'm not just going to wait until like 10 p.m. because there's some of these games at 10. Hopefully we get some injury news early. That's typically how it works. When you get the guys, if they're not going to play, they typically tell you early on in the day. So stay tuned for the ladder. We'll see. If you want me to talk about the other games, I'll talk about the other two real quick, and then we'll get on out of here. The pick scrolling down at the bottom, Austin Reeves points and assists, Vic Krejci's under an assist, and obviously day 2 of the ladder challenge, we play it for 1 unit plus the $20. Now, the other games on out there, you have these 2 late games, Utah versus Golden State. I'm going to be honest, Utah is disgusting. Who knows if they play? I mean, Colin Sexton, sure. I mean, like I said, Colin Sexton's been good. Just hasn't been getting to 26.5. So you got to take your chances there. I'm not getting involved there. That's a double-digit spread. I hate the Warriors, although we'll be seeing a Warriors game in I think a week to the day, maybe a little less than a week from yesterday. And then if you look at the other game, Milwaukee versus Portland, I was trying to get here on a couple different guys. The problem is, if you go to Blazers, I think I was looking up there. This was the first matchup between these two teams. Let me know if you enjoy me kind of going through a little bit more. Obviously, the Bucks lost this first matchup between the two teams. I'll go to this side. In that game, we had some guys that weren't in the game today that were playing. Jeremy Grant didn't play. Denny Avdia had a big game. DeAndre Ayton was active. Not a bad matchup for rebounds. The problem is Shaedon Sharpe was starting here. Now they kind of have this lineup plus Jeremy Grant. So my question is, who does Giannis guard? Because I wouldn't be shocked if Chris Middleton goes out. Damian Lillard, you obviously having a revenge spot, if you will, back in Portland. You'd anticipate him wanting to show up. I just don't know. I think Andre Jackson, their best defender, probably guards Anthony Simons. I almost backed Denny Avdia, but there's a non-zero chance that Giannis guards him. If I were to guess, you'll probably see, and if I were to go to the Blazers depth chart, my guess is you see this lineup in here, the one that they have right on the screen. My guess is Andre Jackson gets Anthony. Damian Lillard gets Tamani Kamara. Obviously, Brook Lopez guards the center. Is it Taurean Prince? I would want to back whoever Taurean Prince is guarding, in my opinion. The problem is I don't know if that's going to be Denny Avdia or Jeremy Grant. So that's why I just didn't know what to do in that game. I like whoever Taurean Prince guards, though. I don't think Taurean Prince is the best defender. Milwaukee Bucks, this is basically their lineup. Chris Middleton probably doesn't play. Bobby Portis, we'll see if he plays. But again, I don't want to take whoever Giannis is guarding. I think Taurean Prince is the better matchup. You want guys that target that mid-range against Milwaukee. That is probably Jeremy Grant or Shaedon Sharpe off the bench. Either way, not my favorite game. We'll see what we figure out with the ladder. But either way, my 3 picks, you already see them at the bottom of the screen. Thanks for tuning in. Ladder will be live later on today. Let's hopefully climb past day 2. Say a prayer. Day 2's been our kryptonite. We get past day 2, we might be on a roll. But I'll see you guys back again tomorrow. Go Austin Reeves, fade Vic Krejci. Let's cash the ladder. And I'll see you guys back again in the next one. Peace.